Okay, well, day 7. I'm running a little bit behind again. I think I keep saying that. Oh, Caleb, you're already here.
Oh yeah? What took you so long?
I guess I've slept too much.
Abandon your heart tonight. Why did you follow? Is it only for a ticket to heaven?
I think I'm going to fix my sleeping schedule. So I was just telling Caleb, I keep finding myself editing videos right up until about 10, and then I still have those 8 pages that I have to read, and I won't be able to keep that up. So I got to figure out how to do all of that. So we got to make adjustments. I just wanted to add this note again that if my only goal was weight loss right now, then I would be concerned, because just this morning it looked like my weight had fluctuated up 2 pounds, and so if this was weight loss was the only goal, then right now I would be trying to think of some way to switch things up in order to make a change. But the goal is discipline. I just got to stay consistent, and the rest will smooth itself out, I believe. So we're going to keep going. A call to grace for day 7. Today is day 7. Let's go. In A Call to Grace, David Nasser talks about how we have an enemy, the prince of the power of the air. This is the devil. This is Satan. Before we go any further, I want to put out a disclaimer that sometimes the enemy in our life is not just Satan, but sometimes we have to reconcile the fact that maybe it's just us, our old self, our flesh. And so this message is not telling you to overanalyze everything. It's the devil, it's the devil, it's the devil. But David Nasser talks about how sometimes the devil, he is a roaring lion, but we treat him like a kitty cat. Insignificant in our lives, or even sometimes a pet, something to keep around. That you can't keep a big cat, a wild animal, nearby without getting hurt. And so I want to highlight this too, because we have to be very, very aware. If we're going to thrive, if we're going to fight on a daily basis, as I believe we're called to do so, we have to recognize that we have an enemy that hates us. He wants to consume us, to devour us, to steal our joy, to kill us, to destroy us. This is the devil. And when we recognize that we have an enemy that is diligent in seeking out our destruction, we live our lives differently. We view sin differently, because not only is sin disobedience to God, our enemy's watching us like, go for it, go for it, go for it. He took the bait again. He will try to deceive you by calling what is wicked good. He will try to accuse you, telling you, well, now that you've sinned, you're mine again. Jesus can't pay for what you just did. He already has. Another deception, but it's an accusation. You're too bad for God. And then, you ever notice that every time you try to follow God with all you have, circumstance after circumstance after circumstance, roadblock after roadblock comes your way. Bad things start to happen conveniently right at the time that you said, I'm going to follow Jesus with all that I have. He will accuse, he will deceive, and he will oppose. So I want to encourage you, fight the devil. But we don't fight the devil by acknowledging and yelling at him. We fight the devil by reading the word, which battles deception, by praying, which strengthens us, by living righteously, and by living a very disciplined life. As a soldier, not just a citizen of heaven, but a soldier. That's why you've got to be sold out for the kingdom. You've got to live every single day for the glory of God, because whether you like it or not, you're fighting a battle. And you're either fighting for the Prince of Peace or for the Prince of the power of the air. But don't be afraid. The Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ, is more powerful than the devil. He's guiding you, and he will walk you through all of his tactics. You have the Spirit in you, so I know that you've got this. I had to slow down today, and I think I've already mentioned this before, but man, I've been so focused on, oh, I need to get this B-roll, I need to record this, I need to say this for the camera, and I've been neglecting God in the process. That can't happen. So I'm slowing down. Excuse me if there's less footage from time to time. I've got to focus on God. I can't put him in the background while trying to pursue his purposes and plans. Also, if you've been neglecting the fight, again, the best thing that you can do is start to pray. Pause, like I'm trying to do. Slow down. Spend time with God. The devil hates every single time you connect with God in this way. Hates it. So oppose the devil. We try to fight other people all the time whenever they wrong us. Oppose him, fight him. Is to love. Tori made. Oh, she's walking away. Tori made some wonderful food for me. She's so great. We've got a speed walk today, maybe do some jogging, but my sunburn is almost completely healed. So I can put the backpack on. Our walk was cut a little bit short, so I am out here doing some high knees and some butt kicks. Here we are again around 10 p.m. reading the last 8 pages. My wife's gonna fall asleep as I read, but we have The Path of True Godliness by Willem Tillink again. So this is a really good read for me because I think sometimes, just out of wanting other people to feel comfortable, sometimes I think that I go a little bit soft on how I talk about sin in comparison to grace. While at the same time, I think it is good to find a balance. He talked a lot about sin in very, very strong ways in this passage today, but this one quote actually stood out to me over the rest of it. True godliness does not strive after God's will for any other reason than that it is God's will. In Romans, it says that they exchanged the truth of God for a lie and started worshiping created things instead of the Creator. And I think that sometimes myself, whenever I'm following God, sometimes I do some of the right actions more because it has a benefit to me than just simply because it makes God happy, or it brings him joy, or it furthers his mission. This verse in Romans, this opposite of godliness, which is the purpose of this book, is to show what godliness looks like for a Christian living this life. And godliness is basically the concern for the pleasure of God. That's godly living, being concerned for his pleasure. And so, just briefly, since it is really late and I gotta go to bed, examine your heart tonight. Why do you do the things that you do for Jesus? Why do you follow? Is it only for a ticket to heaven? Is righteousness more of a pursuit to live your best life because it comes with good fruits that actually benefit you? You know, you reap what you sow. Or do you do it because, as we talked about before, you know, we love God, we pursue him because he loved us first? Do you do it just because that's who he is? You know who he is and you love him for it. You know who he is, you identify him as your master or Lord, and so you follow. Why do you follow God? Have you exchanged love for the Creator for his created things? I think we always have to check our hearts on that on a near daily basis. But if you find yourself to be somebody doing that, within the grace of Jesus Christ, it only takes you can pray and ask for forgiveness, and God will have heard it, and he'll be so glad. You know, he is really gentle with us. But I'm finishing the very last water bottle
of the day. Day 7, done.